We are 1 minute. Now, there we go. I did not turn on my microphone before starting the stream. So let's start this all over again. Good afternoon, good evening, good whatever it is, wherever you are listening from. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Jules. My pronouns are he, him. I'm a commercial food photographer and stylist and soon to be published cookbook author. And every single Saturday, for an hour and a half, we sit and we chat and we plan together, or you could possibly be doing art or journaling or just hanging out listening to me while you do your chores. If you are watching, come say hi in the chat. I have some exciting news that I'm going to share this stream, but I'm gonna wait a bit before I share that, so I'm not having to repeat it later for people who are coming in late. This week I am, after a summer of being out of my planners for lots of different reasons, I'm back in them because my September is looking pretty full, and I start proofreading next week for my first round of proofreading for my book. Hello, Anomic. It's very, very nice to see you. So yeah, I'm planning this upcoming week in September. And maybe if I have some time, I am going to be doing some backfilling. But I we'll see. We'll see where we go. And I have to remember that Monday is a holiday and that I'm not doing anything on Monday. So what are you doing today, Anomic? Are you planning? Are you still, are you doing lists for moving? Let me know what your plan for the day is. I've got to get my priorities out. This week is... I have stuff I have to do. Let me look at I have a bunch of things due this week. I have a press release I have to go out on Tuesday, which I will tell you about in a minute. I did a photo shoot on Friday, and so I have to have the images processed. It is my oldest's birthday. He will be 27. It's also Star Trek Day. I have to get blood work. So yeah, this week is... and then I have some stuff that's due, next week too, that I have to get done this week. So I have a pretty busy week ahead of me. Yes, Anomic is saying that they're making to-do lists. So, while I set up my priority for this week, it'll be nice if I can get some writing done as well this week. We'll see. So as some of you may remember, or not remember, we'll see if it's, so for some of you, it may be new information. But after I signed my book contract at the end of last year, yeah, thank you. I'll let him know that you wish him a happy birthday. Friday, hold on, Friday. Oh, wrong month. Yes, this has to be absolutely an admin day. So yeah, I applied for a Canada Council for the Arts grant for my book. And, on Tuesday morning, I woke up to the news that I have been awarded the grant that I applied for my cookbook, which is really big news. Because I had to take, as you know, because of my disabilities and health things, I had to take a lot of time off of client work to work on my cookbook, which meant only one source of income coming in, which is not horrible, but it also meant going into debt for part of the grant process. So this means that thanks to the Canada Council that I get to pay off. I actually, yeah, I'm getting, yes, thank you, Anomic. Anomic is saying congratulations. So, yeah, that means, and for Canada Council for the Arts for writing, it has to be CanLit, Canadian Lit, which has to be traditionally published by a Canadian publisher. And then the project. So you could even get grant money for like the editing process, copy edits, and all that other stuff. Nonfiction is easier to justify the money because you're doing all of the majority of the book is after you sign the contract. But yeah, so I couldn't work while I was working on it because that's just there was no would have been physically impossible to do client work while I was working on the book, and so it meant a loss of income. But that's why the Canada Council grants exist for artists, is so that you can actually make a living doing like things like being an author. Since I don't know how many of you have paid attention to the DOJ versus Penguin Random House Simon and Schuster merger thing. Anomic's saying, what a load off financially. Exactly. Like, we would have been able to make it, like, pay off the debt eventually that happened as a result of only one income. But it would have taken a bit longer and waiting until, like, we get the royalties and all that other stuff. And this just means that it's just so much better. It's so less stressful, especially since a lot of like authors do not. I did that wrong. Oh well. A lot of authors do not have the publishing cycle is such that basically for 2 years you don't get paid, and then you're lucky if you earn out your advance, and you're even lucky for able to sell your book, because with fiction you have to have the book written and polished before you find an agent and put it out on submission and all that other stuff. And thanks to the Canada Council, it's really important to since so much of Canada and the United States have very distinct cultures. And a lot of Canadian culture sometimes gets drowned out by American culture. And so we have the Canada Council for the Arts there specifically so that Canadian artists and Canadian art can shine in a landscape that can be dominated by American media. So it was a big... I woke up in the morning, so it was really funny. I woke up way too early because my bladder woke me up hours before I normally get up. But it was okay because I picked up my phone and looked at the notifications, and there was the email from the Canada Council with the subject was my brain is blanking on the word, was the results, grant results, or something along those lines was the subject. And so I opened it up, and sure enough, there it was. So every time I talk about my book now, part of my only condition for the grant is that any time that I promote the book or talk about the book, I have to mention the Canada Council for the Arts and how they're just saying that their contribution helped to make this book possible. And that's a really easy requirement. And then at the end, I have to put in a final report for how much each specific part of where the money went to. They don't ask for receipts. Sometimes they will do random audits if something looks a little bit sus, but normally they just cool. We just need an idea so that when we report back to Parliament, that we can let them know so much money went to this and this, and this is how it changed how it improved the artist's life. Yes, good morning, good news. When my partner woke up, they gave me a look what the F are you doing up so early in the morning? And I whispered to them, I got the grant. And they were half in their sleep, they did not believe. It was they're are you lying? Are you being true? I was why would I lie about that? Yes, I'm being true. So, this is a holiday. I got to remember. So, yeah. that was my exciting news for the week. And I'm just putting this all in for holiday so I don't forget. And then also on the same day as that, I got to look at the final iterations of my cover. So there's 8 images that are now in the final list for the cover for my cookbook. And there's a sale, so I got to look at that as well on Tuesday. And there's a sale, they're having a meeting, the publisher is having a meeting, oh, this is the wrong time as well, with the sales reps on the 12th. And based off of their feedback of what they think the cover, which cover will sell best, will get the attention best, then we will have a final cover. So hopefully by the end of September, this means that I can do a cover reveal, an official cover reveal, which will also be very amazing. Where am I looking for? WG 050. It's been so long since I've done this. So yeah, it was a very exciting week, to say the least. Quite happy with it. And then what else did we do this week? Yeah, so I had a half-day photo shoot, which was not a typical photo shoot. My office, where I have my physical office, even though I'm still mostly working from home, but my office is like one of those, it's not really like, it does have a shared workspace, but it also has dedicated office spaces. So it's a hybrid between a shared workspace and a bunch of office spaces that you can rent out. And I use it for the boardroom and phone number. They have the receptionist and my business mailing address. And I used to do this type of photography before I switched to food photography. Anyways, they asked me to come in and shoot some common areas in my office building. So I did that. And then I'm like saying, so excited to see that. I know. There's a few that I have my favorites, but really it does whatever cover gets chosen in the end, I'm gonna be happy with. Oh, I missed coloring in Job's journal on Thursday. Yes. So, yeah. I gotta get that done this week. The processing of the images. Oh, what else? It just feels so weird. Like we're pretty much done 3/4 of the year. I mean, we have 1 month left in this quarter, and it's done. Copy edits start this week, hopefully. We'll see. It might be my book designer went on mat leave last Friday, was their last day. So they were wanting to get everything done, covers, interiors, all that stuff squared away before my designer went on mat leave. So hopefully that means that on Tuesday, I will be able to see a fully designed book for proofreading minus the index, because that's based off of this, and I may die from excitement. Oh, and another awesome thing, which, I mean, it's awesome for me. I don't know about the people who watch my channel, but we'll see. So one of the things that I had in my journal is if I got the grant, I was going to do a big, huge Shein or Sheen, however you pronounce it. I'm going to say Shein shop. And there'll be an unboxing of that. Here's the thing though. So over the last few months, I've been adding a bunch of things on my wish list. And not really paying attention to price or how many things were on my wish list. And then after I got my grant award notification on Tuesday, I went to my wish list to see what was going on, and there was like 400 items on my wish list, and it would have been like $2,000 of stuff if I was to buy everything on my wish list. There's no way I am buying $2,000 for stickers and ephemera. Like, I would have to open up my own store if I were to do that. That's a little bit extra. And so, the last few days I've been they have like pin boards or like mood boards, whatever. Lots of places have these boards now. And so, I got tears in my eyes just thinking about just how excessive 400 things on a wish list is. And normally if they were like $1 a piece, I mean, like, I would totally buy $400 for the stickers, and then that's it for like a billion lifetimes. And maybe I might like unhaul some things on Etsy or whatever if I ever got around to it. But yeah, that's a lot of stuff in the cart. Exactly. Like, and so the last few days I've been having to separate the things, like things that I absolutely want as a reward for making it through this process and getting my grant and all that other stuff. And I'm going to cap it off at a couple $100. And then I'm going to get another like desktop organizer so I can like organize things. So it's not like this random, but it's going to be an epic unboxing video when that arrives, and I'm really much looking forward to that. But yeah, so I have I'm slowly sorting it out to like what things do I absolutely want as a reward for getting through this process. And like, especially because there's a lot. I mean, it was rushed. It was still in the middle of the panini. And it was a lot. Every time I think about what I accomplished and how quickly I accomplished it, I don't even know how I did it. It's a little bit, I don't want to say mental, because that's ableist, even if it's used differently in the Commonwealth, but it's a lot. And like I was saying, after just having to pare down all their stuff, including stickers, that would ruin me. Yes. And I have to still do an unhaul of my sticky club, and I think I don't know, we'll see what happens. Like, I already have the September pack paid for, and it's coming, because it has a bunch of Halloween things that I like, and so my October will be like a Halloween theme for the most part, as much as possible. And depending if the preview for the end of September rolls around and they still don't have the numbered like 1 to 31 stickers to put as my headers for the dates in my daily, then unfortunately after like 6 years, maybe even, I think it was 2016, I've had a subscription with Sticky since 2016. Pretty sure. 2017 at the latest. So it's been a hot minute that I've been using Sticky Club. And so to not subscribe to them anymore, I would still probably buy the odd sheet from them now and then, because there's a few things, like all these type of small stickers that I like to use in my weeklies to decorate things. They don't have this size of stickers, this type of stickers available on Shein. So I still would have to find the odd loose leaf or like the odd sheet that I can use for this section or like this planner. But the packs, I'm just not using a lot of what they're doing in the subscription packs anymore. Because I just don't... I tried... Where is it? Where did I put it? Right here. So remember when I got this to do like journaling in? I've done nothing. I mean, I have... Oh. Here. I have... When was this? July... April 7th. This is when I journaled in here. And it wasn't even all that much. Like, I mean, why did I even journal? Something, because maybe I was feeling a little bit better. I don't know. The weather had changed. I mean, I just did it to try and do it. Oh, I wanted to play with stamps. That was part of it, too. So... I mean, my Sunday journaling about my week and, like, doing my little notes, that works for me. I mean, I'm still going to try at some point to do something in here. This was, I mean, the reason why I got the Stellology is because it's only I don't know, it was like $15, $20. It's not a big, huge investment to fall out of it. But it's taught me that I just don't have the energy or, the time or the want to I like planning. I like leaving little notes about how things are going. But I'm not really so much somebody who journals. Or like memory keeping journals, except for my Sundays. And if I have an exceptionally bigger week, then at least this is here that I can like pour over from my daily. But because of that, I mean the sticky pack, it seems that it's just, they're moving more to be based off of people who do journaling as in memory keeping and not journaling as in planning. Because this is called a journal in the Commonwealth, but it's called a planner in America. So I'm making the distinction for people, because I call this a journal, even though it's a planner, like I'm planning. So, wait, I did this wrong. Because these are individual days. It's fine. So, yeah. And it just makes me... I don't know if sad is the right word. But, you know, it's like... when you grow apart from something, or you're just moving on, and it's like closing a chapter on... Anomik saying that, they just started a journal, but, they just add to it when they feel like it. Not every day, though. Yeah. And so that's what that is there for, and I purposely got the Stellology, so, yeah. And because sticky is, I don't know. It's like saying goodbye to a long friend or something. There's a little, it's weird. And it's completely... nonsensical, but it is what it is. Did I have to do this? I did not outline this. Also looking forward to, it is nearly television, like new season, time, and so I'm looking forward to that. There's a bunch of stuff that I have in my September. I spent earlier this morning writing down what days everything premieres, or the days that they're available on streaming, that I watch, and into October I've already, just so I don't forget. So that's another thing. Now I'm saying you have to do what works best for you. Exactly. And I find that there's two much of, I'm looking for social media, CG020. There's too much, people feel shame when they fall out of things, or if they're, like, there's so much, pressure on social media. And it's not even done intentionally, but it's that thing where, like, you see these people, like, they have their bullet journal, and they have their planners, and they have, like, 6 different systems. They have, like, their daily, like, 6 different systems on the go. And somehow they're managing to keep up with it all, plus their household and whatever. And it's not really FOMO, but more rather than, I cannot keep up with, it's like an unspoken standard that nobody is saying you have to meet, but there's still that pressure to meet it, even if no one's saying you have to meet it. I'm looking for 65, and so I think it's important to show, like, to really say, you don't have to have 10 different systems or 6 or whatever. Like, if you can get everything that you want to get done in, like, I have the weeks, I have the days, and then I have this to keep up, like, medical stuff that I record my blood work results and other things I have to track for medical reasons to report back to my doctor. And this just works easier, so I can take it to the doctor's appointments and be like, here, this is what you need to know is in here. But yeah, because hauling this around to a doctor's appointment was ridiculous. Monogamous saying, sometimes you feel bad for having spent the money on items and then finding out you don't like it. Yes, there's that as well. Definitely that as well. And I grew up really, really poor. And so anytime there is anything that may come off as wasteful money, I get a whole, like, when you grow up poor and are poor into your adulthood, and by poor I mean, like, living on $1,000 a month and supporting 2 kids for the longest time, it creates a certain, like, mentality that, like, to me, it's this whole thing. My partner did not grow up poor by any stretch of the imagination. And where did here it is. And so I think something is expensive when it's like $50. They think something is expensive when it's like $500. And even though I haven't been poor for a while now, I still cannot let go of $50 is really, really super expensive. And if I buy something that is $50 and I'm not using it, then I am wasting so much money. And I still have that mentality, and whenever I talk about it with my partner, they don't get it, and they do their best to reassure me that I'm not, like, being wasteful. I mean, like, not everything works out for everybody. But yeah, there is definitely, for me, it's not so much like I don't care to keep up with people or do what other people are doing. My autism protects me from that. But when it comes to being wasteful, absolutely 100%, it's not something, like, with food, with everything. Like, there are sometimes, like, my partner will be like, you don't have to. I bought some, like, water enhancement drops. And there was 2, like, it's a new brand that I hadn't been used to. This is an example. So each bottle is like $1 something, $2. And it does like 28 cups of water. It's a good investment. And it's a store brand. And I bought one of every single flavor. The store brand has like 8 flavors. But one of every single flavor to see what I liked. And there's 2 flavors I did not like. I mean, I didn't hate them, but I didn't like them. And, but I refused to just throw them away, even though it would only be $4. I, like, finished it, and my partner's like, I don't understand why you are drinking this if you don't like it. I'm like, well, I don't hate it, but it's not my favorite. I'm never going to order it again. And my partner was like, you know, you don't have to finish that. I'm like, yeah, I do. Like, I absolutely have to finish it. Even though I really didn't. But my brain is still like, no, you can't waste that $4 just because it's not your favorite. I mean, you don't hate it. If I hated it, I wouldn't finish it. But because it was just not my favorite thing, my brain just simply would not allow me to not finish it. I had to finish it. Which is probably, no, that's right. Probably not the healthiest. But that's what growing up in poverty does to the wiring of someone's brain. Oops, come on, camera. Stop doing that. My lens, I'm worried that this lens is on its last legs, which is fine, it's old. But the motor was making, the autofocus motor was making some funky noises when I hooked it back up today. So, we'll see. I don't have to do continuing ed and prep tomorrow, or Monday. I don't know why I colored that in. Anomic, forcing yourself to eat something just because you pay for it is relatable. Yeah, I figured it would be relatable. And I think that's part of the whole, like, we need more, I'm not really sure, messaging, just more, there's a lot of shame around poverty, growing up in poverty, especially, and when it's, like, nothing you had control over. It's like you didn't control your socioeconomic class growing up. You don't even control your socioeconomic class as an adult because capitalism. And it's all sorts of, like, yeah, it's whatever. So, but there's still that shame, and I think we need to talk about it more. I mean, there is more talk about it, but it's just, yeah, it's really weird. It's like I'm still trying not to feel bad about falling out of this, even though this is really well used. But I didn't use it for 2 months, and that 2 months is like wasting resources and wasting money. And it's like, well, I want to go and backfill it. I probably will never find the time to go backfill it. But my brain, I think the major reason why my brain is saying you need to go and backfill it is so it doesn't feel like I wasted. Well, July has some. Let's look. July, July I have some things in here. I didn't color it in. I mean, July's somewhat done. August, I made notes. I tried the first week of August. And I used this part, but there's no way I can fill in there's some things I can fill in based off of my calendar and based off of emails, records, or whatever. But, a big part of me wanting to backfill this is so that it's not wasteful. When it's far from wasteful. I mean, this is a very well-used planner. And I'm absolutely going to be... I cannot wait for pre-orders for 2023. Because this is... I was so worried when I switched to this because these are relatively more expensive than when I was using the Traveler system. But this was this was a great investment in myself and my mental health and my productivity. And now it's saying with this move, they skipped a lot of pages recently, but they have just let it go. And they were going to backfill, but they also said, nope. This is a realistic picture of how busy I was. Yeah. And mine's a realistic picture of just not only how busy I was, but how much of a flare. Like August, my body most of August, I still have the migraine, but most of August was spent with a killer migraine. And I need to see, I'm going to check. When did I start? I wonder, because I have it written in here. I started, was it in July? the 19th is when I started my low dose naltrexone from the pain clinic for my spinal cord tumor pain. And that's basically, it was like this week, and it takes up to 6 weeks to fully form in your system, but that's basic, and then before your body gets used to it. And that's basically like the 6 weeks is when I had this migraine, and it's now finally starting to subside. So I would not be at all surprised that it was in fact this new medication, and I was warned about it. It's like it can cause, like, if you're prone to migraines, it can make it worse, and it absolutely did that. So yeah, that was fun. Fun, like, not really fun, you know what I mean. So I have a grocery delivery on Monday, and I think I also have Amazon on Monday. I know I have Amazon coming today. Put this here. And Friday's a deadline. I have to change that color. Let me see. Gotta check this. Yes, images. Deadlines are 120. This is just recolor in this top. And ooh, that's gonna bleed through. And I'm like saying that just seems weird to take away pain in one area to create it. Yeah, it's so this is weird. I'm gonna, for people who don't, naltrexone is an anti-opioid thing. Like it's a opioid reversal basically, and they use it like in higher full doses. It is used so that people who are addicted to opioids, like, it's used as if you overdose, you give it to somebody, and it reverses. It's a reversal of opioids. And if you're on, while you're taking it or you're on it, it does not allow the opioids. It binds to the receptors in your brain, the opioid receptors in your brain, and it does not allow your brain to have those psychopharmacological effects of opioids in higher doses. In small doses, they have found, because of the way that it binds to receptors in your brain, it also can, not for everybody, but it can also help with nerve pain, with neuropathy. By taking it down. Like, I still have nerve pain, but I was at an 8 all the time, and now I'd say about I was out of 5 or 6 most of the time, which is an improvement. And they consider anything more than like 2 pain points down a significant improvement. So I've had a significant improvement on the pain side effect, though, because of how it binds to certain receptors in your brain. Those receptors can also cause migraines while they're getting used to it. So it's one of those things where you have to outweigh the costs, like the side effects versus the benefits. And in this case, the benefits, I think, are worth it, because having nerve pain all the time, I mean, it's torture. It is absolute torture, especially like when I sit and the only position that I can get into that relieves it, because of where it is in my lower back, is like on my sciatic nerves, and it's displacing a whole nerve bundle in my lower back. And so that's like standing, sitting, bending over, everything. The only time that the nerve pain is relieved is when I have an adjustable bed, and there's a 0 gravity position on my bed, and that is the only time that my nerve pain is relieved, is when my bed is in 0 gravity position. Well, I can't stay, I can't stay in 0 gravity all day. So I will sometimes during the day go and put my bed and have some relief. But now I'm able to stay in one position longer. Like beforehand, I would have to like every 10 minutes shift positions. Now I'm like every hour. I can stay either seated or whatever for like an hour before I have to move. Um, and so that is worth having a migraine for. And I'm like saying it is 2022. There should be some kind of Star Trek pod we can get into and rejuvenate our bodies by now. Exactly. Oh my goodness. And the really thing, like these types of tumors that I have, the nerve tumors, in other places they'd be able to remove it, and it'd be fine. But where mine is, there is on my spinal cord, there is a huge chance that removing it could leave me with permanent paralysis. So they do not want to remove it unless I start developing Aquinas syndrome, something like that. I call it horsetail syndrome, where it's basically because that's the nerve root bundle that's being displaced, and I could like lose bowel function and stuff. So unless that happens, sorry for the TMI, but unless that happens, they're keeping it in place, and we just do pain management and different techniques to cope with it. So, but yes, the Star Trek pod, better like surgeries. Well, it's not really so much better surgeries, but it would be nice if we could like transport the tumor out instead of having to go in there with a scalpel and possibly nick my spinal cord and sever my sciatic nerve in the process. Because that's not fun. That's not fun at all. What else do I have this week? My images are due. Oh, that's right. So Thursday, or Wednesday, I should say. That's actually backwards. Blood work I have to get done on Wednesday. And do I even bother spending this last hour working? Or do I take another full break before I have my raid on Wednesday? That's the question. And I think I will see how I'm feeling on Wednesday before I make that decision. Yeah, it is really too risky. My neurosurgeon said if I absolutely insist, like they normally don't do it, then he will do the surgery, despite the fact that he does not recommend it. But he would prefer not doing it, and so we're just seeing what we can do to keep it managed in the meantime. Oh my goodness, this is like not. Oh, I hate how that bleeds through so much. As much as I love these colors, I'm actually looking forward to doing a whole other color scheme once November rolls around and I have the new planners to play with for a couple months. I'm never going to be happy with how this bleeds through the alcohol. And it's just really sad that they can't get this muted with watercolor. So I have to submit the press release about my thing on Tuesday. Really should have looked at this before coloring it in. It's been a minute. Okay, so this is milk delivery and cow-op delivery and cow-op deadline. Wow. And milk deadline. Changed it from Sundays to Saturdays because it's Sunday at 8 o'clock. No. So here's the thing. Where, like, they have some muted. Like, this is muted. The 990 is a muted color. It pretty much matches this. The 992 is somewhat muted. Here, let's see if I have a swatches of these somewhere. I think I do. And this is like from their muted set. So yeah, so as you can see, so the 990, 992, those are kind of muted. The 89, the 95, N89, N95, N75, those are all muted. The N79 is kind of, like these look muted on their own, but here, let me get the 52, which is this one, and they fade over time, which is interesting. But, so here's the 52, and then when I outline with it, like this is what the outline here is the N52. So you can see the difference between what Tombow considers muted compared to the alcohol. And then when I used to color in with them, like it just looks darker, especially when you overlap, it gets darker and darker. So these are like what are considered the muted for the Tombows. And it's because I wasn't happy with how dark these were when I wanted muted. That's why I switched to the alcohol pens, is because so yeah, these are their neutral or gray scale, but there's, and if I was using them as like water, like I could wet them down, but this paper is not conducive to doing the watercolor like you can in, let me see if I can find a swatch. Played with it somewhere in my Hobonichi. So yeah, with the Hobonichi, where is it? So yeah, you right here. It's like the dark, and then you can put water on it, and you can make it lighter. So you could do like an outline of something, and then if you were to get water, I have it tested somewhere else. Like this is Tombow with like just one line of the Tombow brush pen, and then I took water and I diluted it, and that works really well on the Tomoe River paper. I think I also have another sample somewhere else, but it does not work on the paper that Jibun uses on like this one, or their Mio paper or Mayo paper or whatever it's called. So I don't know. And there's, when I look at did I do it in here? Hold on, let me open up. Yeah, they are very saturated. Did I do all the watercolors? Yes, I did. So when we look at the watercolors, I mean, there's some on here that I can choose from that are similar. Like 19 is somewhat, but it's still kind of saturated. Oh, wait a minute. I did this in here on this paper because it's better. What months did I do that? Let's see, here we go. So 5 will be good, I think. 34 will be good. 30. So that's 1, 2, 3. I don't want pink. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But these are so close together. Like I could do pretty much a monochromatic, but it's more difficult. Like this whole from 101 to 107 is really good, but they're all the same color family, so it would be more difficult to be like see definitive time blocks. 112, 113, 114, and 119 are okay. So yeah, I might just bite the bullet and go to something that is more saturated again. Just because it bothers, like I'm going to play with that. I mean, I have 2 months once I get the new planner to play and see what I can live with. See what I can't live with and go from there. Because this is bothering me too much, the bleeding through, even though it's the perfect colors. As for me, perfect colors for me, and how the degree to which I like the desaturate ness of it. Is that a word? Unsaturated? So this is what else do I have to plan this week? I'm gonna color this in admin. Is gonna be, oh wait, I didn't do the priority. I have to finish. I'm working on my author website, especially with, whoops, I colored that in wrong. Especially with cover reveal happening soon. I really have to get my author website and press kits and all that stuff ready to go. So that's gonna be the priority, aside from like the things that I have to get done, especially because I have a press release going out on Tuesday. I have to get, oops, that is so blurry, sorry about that, I didn't realize it was so far over. Have to get my author website done this week. Priority. Author website. And so, an admin week. Where did I put that? Right here. Nanomic agrees that they like the look, but the bleeding would bother her. Yeah. Yep. And it's, I don't know, I just find it really sad. And not because, I mean, these brush pens were really cheap, and or these, like, ones were really inexpensive. And so I will likely find a use for them somewhere else. Maybe if I'm doodling, or when I use them to do like a grayscale in my adult coloring books. That would look really neat because that works well. Well, no, actually, here, this is like the coloring book paper, but it even bleeds through on their testing cards, right? And the testing is like thick. You have to be very gentle with them because they even bleed through card with the alcohol. So I might not even be able to use them in my adult coloring books. So I don't know. I haven't tried yet, which is a little bit ridiculous. I should probably do that, but I don't want to ruin. My adult coloring books, I'm so protective of them. Wrong color. Those I am precious with, because those are like mental health stuff, and I can't. And it's not that ruining it would waste it. Ruining it would decrease up my ability to do mental health things. I gotta make dog food on Monday as well. This week is so busy. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, let's try to do this without getting completely in my focus area. You know what? I'm going to outline these later because that is too much popping in the camera. But so this is Kid 1's B-Day. Oh, also Star Trek Day. Star Trek, CBS, Paramount is going to be doing a bunch of live streams and announcements for 2 new TV shows. One of them is apparently taking place in the Kelvin timeline, which I do not know how I feel about that, because I am not a fan of the Kelvin movies. But a Kelvin timeline show may actually be okay, just because it will give them time to do character development. And the problem with the movies is they were all action, and there's no character development. And I like action movies, but I'm I can also fall asleep during action movies, and I'm very much character driven when it comes to media. And so we don't watch a lot of movies just because movies tend to put me asleep. Like, even high packed, like, adrenaline movies, I fall asleep because I don't care about anybody in them, and so I get bored. Because we watched Prey the other day, which I did not hate. So I'm just using this as an example. Prey got some amazing reviews. Some amazing, everyone was like, oh, it's so good, why didn't it go in the theaters? And there was all, like, this discussion about rights or whatever. And everyone's like, oh, that was, like, amazing. And the thing about Prey is that I could care less. I'm not quite sure bored. Maybe bored is actually a good word for it. But, I was not gripped at the edge of my seat. Like, with Aliens. Was Aliens the second movie of the Alien series? I like horror movies because they grip me. But Prey was just, it was there. I was more concerned about the dog. And I'm gonna, spoiler alert. I'm just saying the dog does not get hurt. And I think that's important. I wish I had known that going into the movie because the whole movie, all I cared about was whether or not the dog was going to be okay. And nothing else. Everyone could have died and I would have been like, ooh, I don't care because I just need to know that the dog is going to be okay. And so, yeah, I need, if the thing that I care about the most in a movie is the dog, I think it could use a little bit of, something else. I don't regret watching it. It was a nice little romp, for sure. But I think I would have rather watched something else. CG030. We are also another thing we're doing right now is we're rewatching Northern Exposure. We do that every now and then. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. It's not available on anywhere streaming. You have to own it. And it will probably never be available anywhere streaming because of all the music in it and streaming rights. Yes, Anomic's saying at least the dog part kept you up. Yes, it absolutely did. And I think if it wasn't for, because I've seen other Predator movies and I remember them to be have more of a horror thriller element to it, like Aliens, to like keep you have that like little knots in the pit of your stomach that you watch those, like the reason why you watch those movies, if you are a fan of those movies. And there wasn't that with Prey, except for when it came to the dog. So, yeah. And that tells me that, it was very well done. That's for sure. It was a very nice depiction of indigenous Americans, Native American peoples. Though, part of it really confused me because the tribe that they were basing, the tribe that is in the movie, and that the movie is dedicated to, they were like in the northern Great Plains, but it's a southern, like a tribe that usually is like part of southern United States and Mexico. Starts with CH. Hold on, I'm gonna Google this. The tribe name. Nation name, I should say. It's a nation. Prey, indigenous. Yeah, 95% of the cast of Prey is indigenous. Comanche, there we go. Okay, so, and Blackfeet. Okay, so there we go, that's the thing. The Blackfeet is the Northern Plains. So that makes sense, because Blackfeet are also in Canada. And so when they were saying like the Northern Plains, I was curious about, was it Choctaw? Okay, yes, but they were, yes, thank you. So that confused me because it was very that part of it. But it was that part I enjoyed. And having a 95 no, Comanche is what it is. I was wrong with the CH. And that's the Southern Plains, and Blackfeet are Northern Plains. And they had them, like, the movie was dedicated to the Comanche Nation, and I don't know if that's because, I don't know, but it was just confusing to me, that part of it. But they had a lot of indigenous consultants. One of the film's producers is Comanche and Blackfeet ancestry. And that part of it, and it was filmed in Alberta, which, yeah. But so it was just weird, that part. But that part of it was really good, and it was not like it was good, accurate portrayal of indigenous culture. So that part of it, I really really enjoyed, and that part also kept me watching because it wasn't like the stereotype of indigenous peoples from. I think the movie takes place in the 1700s. And the white people were the bad guys. Thank God. Like, that's another thing. Because normally when you have... And there was only, like, white people show up. French Europeans. They were French. And they're like, very minimal in the movie. But normally, the roles are reversed, right? Like, if you have a Cowboys and Indians movie, to use an old, outdated term... It's normally the indigenous people who are portrayed as the bad people. And this was completely, like, accurate reversal. Indigenous people are good, smart, competent, civil, like, advanced culture. And it was the white Frenchmen who were the evil people, as was the case in actual history. So I enjoyed that part of it as well. What else do I have to color? Oh, yeah, I have to do my body check-ins. But I think, like, if you were to remove that piece of it, I probably would have, no, the dog would have kept me awake for sure. Never mind. I was gonna say maybe I would have fallen asleep if it was just, like, if it didn't have that component in it. But no, the dog would have still kept me awake if I know it, like. If I had gone into the movie knowing that the dog is fine, no dogs get hurt in the filming of this program, because I cannot do hurt pets, then I probably would have fallen asleep. Yes, Anamika is saying it's good that part was true to history. It was very much so. Yeah, and I also liked that... the main character, yeah, it's worth watching, I think. I think it's more worth watching for the indigenous culture aspect of the movie, and less worth watching if you are a fan of the Predator movies, a la Arnold Schwarzenegger. I mean, it's very true to the franchise. Oh, there's a dog outside my house barking. It's true to the franchise, that's for sure. But it's not... I mean, there was no thrill for me. And I'm not possibly the best judge of that, because I have a high tolerance for these things to do. Is there anything I want to do this week? I'm not sure I have really time for anything. I'm not doing my food days yet. You know what? I'm going to... I have to do a Patreon post. I'm just going to add this and finish June Flip video. I just have to finish adding the subtitles. Oh, not finish June Flip. We'll see if I can just get those 2 extra things done this week. What else? I want to... Let me put this away. What sticker am I on for the weekend? Comes after flowers. Ticket. Let me grab tickets. What color ticket did I do last time? I need to make sure I'm not like it. No, wait. Is that the same or is it slightly different? It is different. Okay. Oh, that's fine. I feel like I'm forgetting something. It's been so long since we've done this. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Let me just double check my week. Yeah. Update. Finish website revamp. That has to be moved up, or I have that priority this week. Sorry for the dead air there. I'm just trying to. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I'm not recording yet what we're watching. We just finished. We're doing a Star Trek, like new Star Trek rewatch, and we just finished rewatching the first like all of Discovery. And I think we're going to go into Picard next. So, I mean, we really want to watch Strange New Worlds again, because that is the best out of all the new Trek. But we just finished it, so. There we go. I feel like I am forgetting something. What color is next to go on my borders? Did yellow last, so after yellow comes purple. Purple. Gotta swap those out soon. Actually, before I do this, I'm going to put that aside. I'm going to go. I have to fill this in still. You will not have any. Anomic is saying that they will not have time for any shows for a while. Thank goodness for streaming. I mean, that sucks. Don't get me wrong. I feel really sad that I wasted my last of my date stickers on August, even though they're not my this month's goals themes. This month's goals. Hold on, let me just finish this and I'll finish my thought. So yeah, it sucks not being able to like watch premieres of anything that's premiering, all that other stuff. And just being that so busy, you don't have a lot of downtime. That said, it is great that now it's streaming. My partner and I were talking about this. Things I want to do the other day. Like back in our day, back in the before times, there was like you would have to wait until it went on like syndication or like repeats. Like if you didn't watch it when it aired, you were SOL. Have to do. Proofreading is a thing I have to do this month. Proofreading and finish author website update. Site. But now, thanks to streaming, you can watch things later. So, here's an interesting thing that we've learned recently. That they have, like, So my partner and I, okay, oh, not week, months. My partner and I will wait until, because there are some shows that are streaming only that drop on a weekly cycle. Like Only Murders in the Building is one. There's a few others. And my partner and I will wait until the whole entire series is done, and then we will watch it, like, within a week. We have learned that that's actually bad. That reason why shows fail is because if you do not watch them within the first month after they are released, then the streaming platform figures, well, it's not that great, and we're going to cancel it. So you basically have to watch things as they come out, because they're still using an old-fashioned metrics for ratings and for how viable something is, completely ignoring that there's not enough time in the universe to watch everything as it drops now. Namik is saying they remember when they were a kid, them leaving in the middle of a restaurant dinner to order, or in order to catch the final episode of The Cosby Show. Yeah. I mean, that's how your whole entire life was revolved around that. Yeah, like, there was, like, and then when we got, like, VHRs and stuff, that's fine. I mean, yeah, our lives were revolved around the TV schedule. And now, thankfully, they don't anymore, to the same extent. Some shows we have to watch within a week of them airing, because the streaming platform that they stream on in Canada, unless you have a cable subscription, you're locked out from being able to stream it within a week. So CTV, like Grey's Anatomy, Station 19, Big Sky, we have to watch those. And Transplant. No, Transplant's on Crave, so we don't have to. But yeah, there's a few that we have to watch within a week, but not the night of. What I did, what I reflected on, I wish I could print off, like, or somebody, this is what I would pay for, and this is, I wish more people used the Jibun days, because I would like little sticker kits, just so I wouldn't have to, for the headers here, so I don't have to write them out in English. And then for people who have the days and use the days, if you go to Jet Pens, they have a translation of all this on Jet Pens. But it would be awesome if there were sticker kits where these were like perfectly sized, and then I could just peel and stick every single month instead of having to write this out. Oh my goodness! So this is going to be hilarious, because what I bought once my grant money is deposited. I've been on a no spend for months now. And I'm going from a no spend to an all spend. Oh, another thing I'm really excited about is, even though, my brain just frapped. So yeah, I'm a wheelchair user, not all the time. Half the time, I would say I have to use my wheelchair. When I leave the house, I have to use it because I can't stand for more than 10 minutes. I do exercising like 5 days a week, as you know, and but it's all like do things for like 1 minute, rest, sit, whatever, and it's manageable with my spinal cord tumor. And I was going to, because I have a little bit of mad money. I was going to buy a Bowflex, one of the new ones that have like the discs that are like they uses can't explain it, but it's instead of the bows, it's like a disc system, and it's what they use on the ISS to keep the astronauts fit because they don't. And it's like each disc weighs like 2 kilos, but it offers like 40 kilos or something like that of weight resistance. And I was gonna buy one, but the thing is like, I don't know, like 10 feet long, and you have to have like 8 feet clearance for when you fold it up. It takes up a big, huge footprint. And so, yes, and I'm saying they saw that. It takes up a big, huge footprint. And, not a fan of having to find space in my living room for such a big machine, even though I really wanted it, because I like the Bowflex is tried and tested and true. And it's something like I have like some free weights and stuff, but it's like switching them out. It's a pain in the ass, and it slows down my workout, and I'm not a fan. And then I saw, what's it called? I was looking for like what are Bowflex alternatives, and here, hold on, I gotta look this up. There's one that I saw, but it's only available in the United States, and you mount it to the wall. Hold on. 1 second while I Google something. Whoops. I had this in my head the other day. Serena Williams uses it. Tonal. Yes, so Tonal. Tonal trainer, and I was thinking, okay, Tonal seems nifty. It's attached to the wall. You don't have to switch out equipment so often, but you have to move the arms up and down. But it's only in the United States, and you have to have a subscription to be able to use it, which is like, no thank you. And then I was looking for tonal alternatives, and then I came across this thing called the Vitruvian. It's expensive. That is for sure. But it's like a platform on the ground. It uses a magnetic resistance. And it's up to 200 kilos, where the tonal is 100 kilos. Anyways, it slides underneath your couch, and it has this tiny footprint, and you can do all like the same type of exercises that you could do with a Bowflex. Plus more. And so that's the thing. That's my pay off debt, and then buy a whole bunch of stuff off of Shein, and buy a home gym that fits under my couch when I'm not using it, which is amazing. So it's called Vitruvian Trainer Plus, and if you're curious, there's a good like 15-minute review of it that just came out a few weeks ago on YouTube. And I'm looking I'm looking forward to that. And it's just, the science for it's amazing. You do not need, like, the Vitruvian app is free to use, though for the full benefits you get a year subscription when you first sign up for it. But it's not, unlike other smart gyms, because it's, like, it does adaptive exercises. Yeah, the 4 subscriptions is horrible. So unlike other platforms that have forced subscriptions, this doesn't. The subscription is optional. You can still use it. It's not a brick without it. So that was the tipping point. Because I use BodBot right now, because it also does adaptive training. Basically, it changes your workout based off of like what you do and your progress, and you have to do fitness tests every now and then. And so I looked at a whole bunch of other the Bowflex has It has an app and it has like a subscription, but it's not adaptive. They're preset. You can't make your own routines. You don't have access to trainers like you do with Vitruvian. I also spent like weeks stalking the Vitruvian subreddit. Um, and so, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And I wish there was more videos on it. And so I'm probably gonna be evangelicalizing even the Vitruvian. I just wish it wasn't. Oh, another thing I like about the Vitruvian is that every time somebody like users, is like, I wish it did this, I wish it did that, or the app is missing this, the developers and the people behind it, they're like, okay, we can do that, and then they start working on it and start implementing things that the users, like real users, are actually asking for, which is all kinds of awesome. So, yeah, I put that on my Tuesday to-do list because I needed to make sure I do not forget that. I'm going to also put a big, huge. I wonder, do I have fireworks stickers for Monday? Anything that says holiday, basically. Maybe not in here. I know I have them somewhere. I know I have like a container of loose leaf stickers that I'm just wondering. Oh, whoops, sorry about that. I'm just losing everything. I have to put these away. Is this from this month? Yes, it is. Oh, I wonder. Anything in here? Look at all these kitties. Whoops. Nope. I'll put these away. I think I have to buy another one of these, which is a problem. I'm looking for something. Oh, anything here? These are all autumn. I mean, autumn's almost here. It might start popping up everywhere now. Are you talking about the Vitruvian might start popping up everywhere now? I'm hoping so, if that's what you're talking about. They have, if you go to the Vitruvian website, you don't have to do it now. I'm just saying if you decide to. Like, they're trying to, like, if you want to open up a Vitruvian gym where you can train as a Vitruvian, like, certified trainer, and then you can have, you know how there's, like, whole gyms worth of, like, specific branded gym equipment? And you go in to do like certified, like instructions with a they have like a franchising opportunity, this thing about the Vitruvian, here's the thing with the Vitruvian, if you are a wheelchair user and you are able to get your wheelchair on the platform because you have help, you could, or even if you have transfer to a chair that you are safe in from your wheelchair and put that on the platform, you can do all the weightlifting, like everything that you can do sitting in a chair with on top of the platform with Vitruvian. And that's the thing that really, really excites me the most about the Vitruvian, because just like BodBot, where you can tell BodBot, I cannot do these exercises, or I do not want to train these specific body parts because of disability, you can do the same thing with Vitruvian. They've actually thought about disabled people when they designed not only the platform, but also the exercises and the training programs and whatever. You can be like, I cannot do this. And Vitruvian is like, oh, cool, okay. So, they're a new company. They're like, I don't know, 2 years old, but this is a year and a half. Something like that. Why can I not find... I had them. Maybe they're in there. Okay. Where is my sticky club for this month? Oh, here it is. This is this month. I'm looking still for... Yeah, that's this month. not, there's no I mean, there is a possible way, but I have to have something that says holiday. If I use all my fireworks stickers, I'm going to be a little bit... Adaptive is great, yes. Absolutely. Sorry for this dead air here. I'm just trying to find something specific, and apparently I've used them all. Which is a bit of a problem, I think. Those are like gifts and emotes. Maybe there's something in here that says like... Oh, that's birthday. I'm gonna use this for Thursday, for kid 2 or for kid 1's birthday. Okay. Well, that is a bit of a bummer. I will decorate that later then, once I have time to look through my other... I have a box of loose leaf stickers, sticker flakes. That's what the word I'm looking for. Because there are some fireworks that I want to put on Monday, but I can't... I mean, it's not Monday yet. I should really wait till Monday to decorate it. But the reason why I wanted to decorate it now is because the last holiday, I forgot that it was a holiday on the day of, and I actually, like, started to do some work in the morning. Oh, when the dogs just might start barking. Whoops, hold on. Let me stop talking and see if they... Do you hear that? Archer's letting out little barks and growls in his sleep. Let's see if he continues. No, he stopped. Ziggy was howling in his sleep last night, and he never howls. And it's having beagles that don't howl is weird, number one. But every now and then, Ziggy will howl in his sleep, and it is hilarious. Okay. There was something else I had to do here. Oh, it's time! How did that happen? Oh my goodness. Oh, it's time to clean it. Today went by quickly. Absolutely quickly. But, so, I need to put paperclip. Let's go. Let's have a planet for September. Why not? So yeah, I hope everyone has a really good week. I hope you can find time to relax and self-care as you continue your packing and getting ready to do the nomadic lifestyle for a bit. Next Saturday, again, if you have not subscribed to this channel, subscribe and ring the notification bell for all notifications so that if something happens and I cannot do my live stream, either because my migraine is too much or whatever, I will change the live stream title to, like, sorry, I'm going to be canceling, so when you get the notification, you know that there's actually not going to be a live stream. And I'm like saying, today did go by fast. Good chatting this week, and have a good one, and hope to see you next time. Yes, and they're going to try to find time for themselves. So, yeah, next Saturday, 1 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. British Daylight Time. So, yeah, have a good week. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching on replay. Until next time, bye.